نحمده ونصلي على رسوله الكريم أما بعد أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم وبشر الذين آمنوا وعملوا الصالحات أن لهم جنات تجري من تحتها الأنهار. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala continues by saying وَلَهُمْ فِيهَا أَزْوَاجٌ مُطَهَّرَةٌ. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentions in Surah Baqarah these different ayahs of the Quran. Allah then mentions وَكَذَلِكَ زَوَّجْنَاهُمْ بِحُورٍ عِينٍ. Allah also mentions in Surah Rahman كَأَنَّهُنَّ الْيَاقُوتُ وَالْمَرْجَانُ. Another ayah of the Quran, Allah mentions فِيهِنَّ قَاصِرَاتُ الطَّرْفِ لَمْ يَطْمِثْهُنَّ إِنسٌ وَلَا جَانٌ. All of these different ayats of the Quran, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and there's many more ayats of the Quran and many ahadith, all narrating towards one kind of subject. And the subject is regarding the maidens of Jannah, and the women of Jannah that the people will get. So when the person goes into Jannah, part of the satisfaction and part of the pleasures of the Jannah is not only the fruit, it is the food and the fruits and the clothing and the drinks of Jannah, but it's also regarding the maidens of Jannah, where a person will have this type of pleasure as well. We'll start off by mentioning regarding in the Quran some of the ayats which have been mentioned regarding the people of Jannah and the women of Jannah and the maidens of Jannah, and then we'll go on towards regarding the hadith and the tafasir and the explanation regarding the hadith of how and what kind of descriptions is given. So Allah mentions inside of the Quran in Surah Baqarah وَلَهُمْ فِيهَا أَزْوَاجٌ مُطَهَّرَةٌ. He mentions here regarding the people of Jannah that will being given glad tidings and good news. So you got good news, and such an Allah, such a magnificent Lord, a majestic Lord, and giving towards a servant which is the best of servants, Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and he's telling him these that give the people glad tidings. What kind of people? The people of Iman, the people that have good actions. They do good, that Allah gives them these jannats, these tajri min tahtiha al-anhar, the rivers flow beneath, and they get goodness and all of these good things. But apart from this, they will also get inside of it, for these people, they will have azwajun mutahhara. What is azwajun mutahhara? Azwaj in itself means, it's a plural of zawj. Zawj is a spouse, so someone who is your partner. So zawj means partner or a pair. So example here, you have a pair of apples or a pair of orange, you have pair. The word zawj is mentioned here. Example, you have two opposites, so you have pairs. So Allah mentioned the word zawj. Zawj is mentioned regarding that. So, and then you have mutahhara, which means pure. So you have your pure spouses in Jannah. You'll have pure spouses in Jannah. So I'll go to bit by bit and I'll mention this. And naturally, a person's body is nourished in Jannah. How is his body nourished in Jannah? We mention here fruits, we mention here foods, and then you have streams, you have water, and you have the different type of streams and different liquids which is there. And Allah talks about regarding the houses and where a person will stay. So all of these different things Allah is catering for. He's talking about your food, talking about the pleasure of food and drink, and the pleasure of staying and the couches and the furniture. Allah takes care of all of this. Then He also takes care of the heart as well. The love of the heart, the love of the spouse, the love of the family members, the love there. So Allah talks about the beauty of the heart as well, and grants us regarding the spouses that you have in Jannah as well. So Allah caters for every single aspect of that person that the insan cares about. So not just the beauty of the eyes which we see in Jannah, but the beauty of the heart as well, which is the spouse a person will get. So we mention here azwaj. Who is azwaj? What is a zawj? In Arabic, the word zawj, in Arabic the word we say zawj is a husband, and zawjah will be the wife. In Arabic terms, or let's say in Quranic terms, the word zawj comes inside of the Quran. But it's not mentioned as a husband, it's always mentioned as a wife. Zawj is always mentioned as a wife. It's not as mentioned as a husband. Linguistically you can, but zawj is always in the Quran. Allah said zawj, meaning wife. And the word for husband is ba'al. The word ba'al. That's usually what? Bu'ul. So that has been mentioned regarding in the Quran. So this is slightly different how they've changed it to zawja and zawj inside of modern day Arabic. But this was being mentioned in the side of the Quran, that Allah mentions zawj as mainly for those who are the wives and so forth. Then Allah mentions here regarding mutahhara. So they're pure. What do you mean pure? Pure from what? So bodily they're pure. How? Because now in the woman of this dunya, they have the periods, they have the menstruation and so forth. So then they'll be pure from that. Postnatal and so forth, after they give birth, then obviously they're impure at that stage. So Allah says, no, there's nothing like that. They'll be pure from that. Regarding the toilet, so there's no defecation, there's no urinate, nothing like that. You don't have to go toilet. There's none of that in Jannah. You'll be cured from that. There's no spitting and nose blowing and everything that causes you some annoyance in your spouse. So some annoyance in your spouse. Anything which is annoying you. Maybe they're snoring, yeah. Maybe they, I don't know, they nag. Maybe they do this or they don't. Whatever happens, all of that is put to one side in Jannah. You don't get none of that. It's just peaceful. There's just relationship, there's good relationship. There's khair inside. There's just goodness inside. There's nothing, all of don't think about all of the bad things that your wife does or something like that. But now this happens. So this is now pure from akhlaq. You have pure akhlaq. In Jannah, not just bodily they're pure, but from akhlaq purposes, and the akhlaq kind of side, and the character-wise, they are pure in that manner as well. There's no jealousy there. There's no paranoia there. There's no always calling you here and there. There's no, sometimes it happens from time to time. You live together. These things happen from both sides. From the husband side, from the wife side, from the spouse. So now this happens. Everything is pure from the akhlaq and the character-wise is pure as well. They're also pure from the tongue. The maidens of Jannah and the women of Jannah, pure. And the tongue is also pure. There's no vulgar language. There's no rude words, and sometimes hormones come about, and then the hormones, dictates regarding what happens, and sometimes they speak back, and sometimes they, no respect or whatever it is, and this can happen as well. So they're pure in that manner as well. So this is now pureness upon pureness upon pureness. And then he says pure from the heart and the eyes. Their hearts are pure. Their eyes are pure. They're only fixated on their man. They're not fixated on other people. Sometimes in this dunya, and some people can be attracted by other people. Some beauty will be there, some other beauty, and they'll be attracted by that person's character, that person's beauty, this person's wealth, or whatever it is. But now, in Jannah, it's only purely for that person. Their heart and their eyes are only pure for that person. Their purity, their clothes are pure as well, in such a way where sometimes people are buying extensive amount of clothes and there's so much spent in that manner where extravagance is done in clothes, and then sometimes it's done in a way where maybe the wealth that is gained is done and then they bought regarding that, and it's wasting of money or whatever it is. But now impurity in clothes as well. So there's so much that Allah gives you. So not only your spouse, not only your connection, not only something which is a coolness of your eyes, but you have purity upon purity upon purity upon purity. Bodily, mentally, character-wise, tongue-wise, heart-wise, eyes-wise, clothes, everything is there. So this is purity only for those people that deserve the purity. And they are pure in this dunya, Allah will give them even more purer people and purer spouses in the akhirah as well. So a person should always, not only, so we're talking about the akhirah, and purity will be there for the akhirah. But purity in this dunya is also very important as well. Purity for us as males and for females, purity is of utmost importance. A person must be pure, not only in his body wise, where his ghusl must be correct, his istinja must be correct, his wudu must be correct, everything that he does must be correct, but his tongue must be correct, his eyes must be pure, his ears must be pure, his heart must be pure. The people of Jannah that go to the people, and the qualities and the characteristics of the people of Jannah is that his heart is pure. His heart must be pure. Must be evil inside, hatred inside, malice inside, jealousy inside, arrogance inside, pride inside. Get rid of all of these things. That's purity. So there's many different types of purity. The bodily purity is one thing, but the spiritual purity is another thing. A person must focus on these different purities as well, for the men and for the women at the same time. So Allah mentions regarding in Surah Baqarah these ones. So Azwajun Mutahhara. Let's go on further. Let's go to Surah Dukhan. Allah mentions in Surah إِنَّ الْمُتَّقِينَ فِي مَقَامٍ أَمِينٍ and so forth. Allah mentions وَكَذَلِكَ زَوَّجْنَاهُمْ بِحُورٍ عِينٍ. So I'm going to focus on the word حُورٍ عِينٍ today. So in this way, we will join them, or we will marry them with the حُورٍ عِينٍ. The حُورٍ عِينٍ. So what does حُور mean? حُور is a plural. So that means there's many maidens of Jannah. Women of Jannah. So حُور. So حُورَا is the singular, so حَورَا and حُور. So who are they? So they means young, so the descriptions are giving. So young women of extreme beauty and brightness. They mention that they got like darkish kind of eyes, and their complexion is like light complexion. So let's go deep inside of regarding what does hur mean, what does ayn mean, what is and a different tafsir behind it. I'm keeping it light, and this today will be very light anyway. So the tafsir is regarding the eyes. So hur ayn, the word ayn is to do with eyes, right? So it comes from the word ayn and ayn. So a lot of the mufassirin, the different mufassirin have given different kind of examples and explanations. They said it's whatever your eyes behold. So the dazzling of the eyes, the astonishment of beauty that's seen by the eyes, whether it's you seeing it or whether it's the actual woman whose eyes are so beautiful as well. So sometimes they say the beauty of the eyes of the woman. The most beautiful part of the woman is the eyes. A lot of people have mentioned regarding the eyes of the woman. That's the one which catches a person. That's there. It attracts you is the eyes sometimes. So the eyes is there. He bedazzles you. Another Mufassir mentioned dazzling beauty with the eyes. Natural eye look. Sometimes when you find makeup, you got makeup. You go inside of your wife's drawer and you got the massive, what's it called, dressing table, and you just find loads of makeup. You don't have a clue what they are. You've got bottles of this and that, and I don't know what it is. But the most things that they have makeup for is for the eyes. You have mascara, you have the eyelash extension, you have the eye shadow, you have the eye pen thingy, you have the eye brush, and then you have the eye with the this, that, and they're all trying to beautify the eye. All the kind of makeup artists, they've got the cheek area and they've got the eye. The eye. They're always trying to make it beautiful, the eye. And maybe the eyebrow, or the eye, and then the eyelash, and then this, and they're just trying to do all these different things. So there's so much plucking and so forth. So all of these things is the beauty they're trying to make the eye more beautiful, or around the eye more beautiful. So in Jannah, and the description of Jannah, of the woman of Jannah, it says they've got such natural beauty in the eyes, especially in the eyes, hur'een. So regarding the eyes is dazzling beauties. Regarding the eyes, Mujahid mentioned regarding dazzling eyes due to refined skin, because the whiteness of the eyes is really white and the pupils of the eyes is really dark. So he mentions here that the white really stands out and the darkness of the eyes really stands out. So both, everything is perfect in kind of way where it really contrasts and it stands out in that manner, and it's really beautiful when a person sees it. It's almost like it's mesmerizing that a person sees when they sees the eyes. It's almost like it's mesmerizing, and it's like dazzling beauty. You almost be like staring at it, and then there's that beauty which is there as well. Ibn Abbas rahimahullah mentions, radiallahu anhuma mentions here, the hur means whiteness. So the whiteness of the eyes, such perfect skin that you can see the marrow of their bone behind their clothes. What does that mean? The marrow of the bones. You can see the bone through the garments that they wear, and through the skin you can see something. Now this description has been given with an ayat of the Quran, كَأَنَّهُنَّ الْيَاقُوتُ وَالْمَرْجَانِ. So Allah talks about in Surah Rahman, the women of Jannah, they are like rubies and coral. Now if you see ruby, let me give another example of a marble. Have you seen a marble before? You look inside of the marble, sometimes you can see through the marble, or you can see inside the marble its design and whatever it is. Maybe even if you put a hole inside of the marble and you stick a string through, you can see the string through. So it's something which you can see through almost. It's that beauty of a diamond or a ruby or an emerald. You can see actually through. If you put it here, you can see through it and you can see what's inside of it. It's beautiful in that manner. So in some way, in somehow, the woman on Jannah will be something similar, like rubies, like pearls, like the coral, and in that manner they'll be like beautiful, where you can even see like you can see through a precious stone and a precious pearl. You can see through it, and there's beauty inside of it as well, which we can see. The woman of Jannah will be something similar, something like this. So this has been mentioned as well. So ayn mentions ayna is the singular, wide eyes. Whatever a beauty which is attributed to all the eyes, that's given to that woman of Jannah as well. And usually, when the women, they focus on other women. Example, when they talk to each other, the women gather together, they talk. And sometimes they talk about other women. And sometimes they say, oh, she's really fair. And she's like this, and she's like that. Or she's got really nice this. Or she's got really nice that. Or the way she dresses like this. Or her hair is like that. The women get together and they speak like this. They say that they really. So if they give praise to someone, that means she's really beautiful. Because usually when women gather together, it's always nitpicking. It's always like this. But then when they gather and they start to praise one woman regarding her looks, that means she's got some sort of beauty. So when the women talk about this, she's like this and she's like that. It's almost like that kind of description which has been given. It's almost like that kind of description which has been given. So Allah mentions regarding this as well. Ibn Abbas mentions regarding the different types of beauties as well regarding this. Surah Rahman mentions another kind of description regarding the Hur 'Ain. Allah mentions فِيهِنَّ قَاصِرَاتُ الطَّرْفِ لَمْ يَطْمِثْهُنَّ إِنسٌ وَلَا جَانٌ وَقَبْلَهُمْ وَلَا جَانٌ in different ayat. What does this mean? Inside of it, these women, they are like قَاصِرَاتُ الطَّرْفِ. They keep their gazes constrained. They keep their gazes constrained. It's down. It's fixed. لَمْ يَطْمِثْهُنَّ إِنسٌ وَلَا جَانٌ. And they have not been touched by anybody. No man or no jinn has touched these women. So it mentions jinn as well. The word jinn is mentioned. Usually insan, you say, okay, no woman has touched this by man. But jinnat as well. So what is jinnat? What's jinnat got to do? Remember that jinnat and insan is created very similar, but their purpose and his word is also very similar. So they'll also be in Jannah as well. They'll also have a Jannah. The jinnat will also have their Jannah. They'll also have, at the same time, they'll also have their families and spouses and so forth. And they also have this Jannah like we have. So they have something there for them as well. How and why and how and what kind, we don't know. We don't really know. There's no explanation which is given much, but there is something there and indications towards that as well. So Allah mentions regarding these people, the women of Jannah. وَعِنْدَهُمْ قَاصِرَاتُ الطَّرْفِ عِينٌ. Another ayat. وَعِنْدَهُمْ قَاصِرَاتُ الطَّرْفِ أَتْرَابٌ. So all of these things are قَاصِرَاتُ الطَّرْفِ. They're always gaze is fixing down. What does that mean? When a woman is always looking up, she's always looking around, maybe she gets interested in other things. But when her gaze is down, she's only interested in one thing. And that is the man. That the person will get in Jannah is only fixed. So that's like specially, solely khalis towards you. And that is like something which is of attractiveness as well. So they'll be fixed completely only on that person. And a person could also say, one of the meanings is that, ayn, is that when a person looks at this woman, it's almost like just looking is satisfaction. Just looking there is like satisfaction. Just like how people get mesmerized of looking at a jewel or some sort of mesmerizing scenery. And then there's a woman there, you get mesmerized. Okay, some people get mesmerized there, but the woman of this dunya as well. They get mesmerized regarding that and they can't stop staring. But now in dunya, so in akhirah, this is there and it's there for you. And you can't even look at anywhere else because this is so mesmerizing. You can't look anywhere else because this is so mesmerizing. That's how it is in Jannah. You don't even bother looking at the next person. Even your thrones and your palaces there, you see a woman there, khalas. That's it. There's only one with tunnel vision. So then a person won't even look at anyone else there. So Allah mentions وَعِنْدَهُمْ قَاصِرَاتِ الطَّرْفِ أَتْرَابٌ. What's atrab? How old will she be? Will she be young? Will she be old? Will she be like this? How old will she be? So we know that everyone is of similar age in Jannah. And how old is this? So 33 years old. So that is like the age of Isa, but I'm just saying generally in humankind, you find that's like the power, it's like strength-wise, mind-wise, everything is kind of beauty-wise, everything fits around that age. So it means, atrab means similar or equal. Similar or equal. So they will be equal to you or similar to you. Yani age will be the same, they're not too old, not too young. And it's the peak of a person's youth and beauty, that's what you will get. So that kind of woman who is the peak of her youth and beauty. And he mentions here regarding لَمْ يَطْمِثْهُنَّ, and the tafsir is given behind this. They mention here there's never been touched by anybody. Meaning they're completely, do you know how you have a brand new something in your packet and it's brand new? It's like brand new. You get a packet, there's something you buy from the shop, it's brand new, and then you get it out of the packet, it's brand new. So it's like brand new. Something which is completely brand new for you. This is there for you. It's never been touched, never been looked at by anybody else. That's how khalis it is, just for that person. Imam Ahmad mentions here that even these creation of Jannah, these are creation of Jannah. They're not like the woman of this world. I'll come up to the woman of this world. The woman of this world, we're not talking about the woman of this world being taken towards Jannah. We're not talking about that. I'm talking about the special creation of women in Jannah. This is the Hur 'Ain. So, even when Imam Ahmad mentions they won't even die when the trumpet is blown and everything is destroyed, they will still be alive. This is what Imam Ahmad believes in, and that's what he mentions. So he mentioned regarding all of these things. So Allah mentions فِيهِنَّ قَاصِرَةٌ, they're fixed, their gazes are fixed completely towards you. Allah mentions in the other ayat of the Quran, Surah Rahman, خَيْرَاتٌ حِسَانٌ فِيهِنَّ خَيْرَاتٌ حِسَانٌ. They're just beautiful, they're excellent in every single manner that you can think of. In their beauty, in the way they walk, they talk, they look, everything is beautiful. Excellent in their manner, excellent in their akhlaq, excellent in everything that you have. This is the woman of Jannah. And this is a special creation just given for you. And they'll be very excited just to see you. And they'll give you the attention fully towards you. Sometimes you want attention, sometimes you don't get the attention. In this dunya, you want attention, sometimes it just doesn't happen. Sometimes just you got mind, you can play and you can go further on if you want to. But I'm just giving it very lightly. So when a person wants attention, then sometimes attention is not given. Sometimes during the month, there's certain parts where it's haram for a person, for the husband and wife and so forth. But then that part there is completely got rid of in Jannah. So there's no blockages, there's no restrictions there. Is there? No restrictions. And I'll come up to more details inshallah tomorrow and the other parts as well. But there, so I mentioned regarding the beauty of these people, and now the garments that they wear as well, like 70 garments of silk, and I don't know how they will wear 70 at once, but once they wear it, it will just look even more beautiful. Just like having a queen or a princess wearing her dress, and then she looks beautiful in that manner. And now, in the same way or a similar way, they can see like shining stones and beautiful something like this as well. And I mentioned, I think yesterday or the day before, I mentioned regarding the tents that they will be in. Fil khiyam, I can't remember the ayat, but they'll be in khayma, they'll be in tents. So then, for every Muslim, it will be one maiden, and for every maiden, there'll be one residence and one khayma and one tent and one place there for them. And each one will have 4 doors, and each of the 4 doors, they'll be given gifts out of these 4 doors. And they'll be given gift every single day. There'll be new gift given, each gift from each different door. And this is just going to be completely inside of their tents. And why they be inside of their tents? I'm not talking, but there's 2 types of levels of Jannah. You have the 2 good, the higher levels, and then the 2 lower levels. The 2 lower levels, that we have the women, which will be in their tents, and they'll be enclosed there, so they will be only just for you. And then there will be the women who are now outside of the tents. Outside of the tents will be such women where they'll be always fixing their gazes down. Meaning they'll be outside, but they'll still fix their gazes down. That's how much they'll want to be with only one person. But the others will be fixed inside of their tents. Why? Because maybe they can't fix their gazes down. Maybe they'll have to be stuck in their tents. Just like you'll hide a jewel, just like you hide something which is precious and valuable, just to be kept there in that manner. So there's 2 different types and levels of the woman of Jannah. And now regarding the woman, and I'll finish on this, the woman of Jannah, which is regarding the woman of the dunya taken up towards Jannah. So those in Jannah, they'll be of a different level to these women here. They'll be of a different level to these women. They'll be of a higher level than that. They'll be even a more beautiful level than that. Even more purity than that. Everything which you can think of the woman of Jannah, the maidens of Jannah, the huri'in of Jannah, the level higher will be your wife. The level higher will be your wife. That's why we say azwajum mutahhara. Allah mentions many times azwaj, because you'll be living with your wife in Jannah. Not with your children, not with your parents, but with your wife in Jannah. So this is something that some people want to get rid of their wives quickly. No, you'll be there in Jannah, don't worry. You'll be there in Jannah. But this will be something different. Their purity will be there. Purity will be there. Purity of tongue, akhlaq, purity of body, purity of everything that you can think of. Heart, eyes, this is purity. And that's where the most enjoyment will be. And now remember this, that all these different types of enjoyments in Jannah, this is one of the main parts. This is one of the main parts. Imam Ghazali mentions here that one of the main parts of this dunya is women, regarding the beauty of women. It's one of the main parts of the people get attracted to. So how can you not have that in Jannah as well? Imam Ghazali mentions this is one of the main important parts of Jannah that a person can get. And this can sometime, talking about this and kind of putting this in your mind, can actually try to stop people from committing zina and so forth. This can help. So you can think, oh, I'm looking forward to something that I'll get in the akhirah. So then that will inshallah motivate a person to stop doing certain sins. So this also happens as well. So this is something which as a person can also try and help in that manner. I'll continue regarding this because there's much more descriptions regarding inna ansha'nahunna insha'a faj'alnahunna abkara uraban atha. There's many different descriptions which we'll cover tomorrow in the next part, inshallah. I wanted to keep this short, but this is something that we will be involved in and something that we will have in the dunya, and hopefully inshallah I will try and fit in one day where I can get what the woman will get in Jannah as well. So we said about men getting this, men getting that, men. What will the women get also in Jannah? I'll inshallah try and cover that during this month as well. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for complete guidance in this dunya, for acceptance of all of our deeds, the good deeds, for protection from all of the evil, and forgiveness of all of our sins. Subhanallah bihamdi, subhanallah bihamdik, nashhadu an la ilaha illa anta nastaghfiruka wa natubu ilayk.